Hello and welcome to yet another extra lecture. Before we start our discussion with object-oriented programming, in previous three extra lectures or bonus lectures, we had seen how the use of AI-based coding tools can easily allow even a novice coder or even someone who has no coding background to uh, learn data science without much efforts. At that time, I said that though our tool of preference is either Jupyter Notebook or Jupyter Lab, because as far as teaching is concerned, these two tools are the best. However, I said that for AI tools, PyCharm or VS Code work better, and in previous lectures, I introduced some AI tools with PyCharm and VS Code. Luckily, I found the best possible AI tool now for Jupyter Lab also. So here on the screen you can see the standard user interface of Jupyter Lab. But you will, if you have not installed it, then you will not see this rectangle, this last one. You will see only this folder icon, this circle, this line, and this icon for extensions, extension manager. You will not see this last one. But if you install one Jupyter AI, and if I click on it, you will see that this Jupyter node will be written, and you can ask any question to the Jupyter node. This is the Jupyter node, just like it is asking question to the OpenAI or ChatGPT on the web. However, it will not start working just by installing Jupyter AI. The name of the extension is Jupyter AI, and whenever required, I will teach you how to install the extension and how to enable it and all. But hold your horses, because I told that at least for initial few chapters, I still want to go by the old style method, because the fundamentals still matter even in the age of high tech AI tools. The fundamentals of programming, they still matter. So whenever appropriate time will come, we will switch our entire workflow to the AI tools. At that time, I will explain how to install this. But installing this alone is not enough. If I click here, then you can see that here I get a large choice of what possible large LLM or large language models are there. So I can use NVIDIA, I can use the OpenAI, Babbage, DaVinci, GPT 3.5 Turbo. These are slightly older models, but there are some advantages why I would prefer to use this GPT 3.5 Turbo instruct, because the API cost of this is very less, and for simple or even moderately complicated programming tasks, they give satisfactorily good response. Whenever some complex task is there, I can use this GPT-4 also, or I can use GPT-4.0 or other modern model also. And then there are other models. For example, you can use Together AI's various model. Then you can use here NVIDIA's various model, Google Gemini's various model. You can use GPT for all. That is a solution. Cohere, with another, which is another good company making strides in AI. Anthropic, which is giving a tough fight to OpenAI. You can use its model. For example, this Claude 3.5 Sonnet. This is the latest model as of date of this lecture being recorded, and it is beating or it is giving a tough fight to OpenAI's latest model, ChatGPT's latest model also. So Anthropic's model you can use, and you can use any other model. However, many of these models are paid, so you can use them provided you first get these things. These on the bottom part, if you see, there are Anthropic API key, OpenAI API key, Mistral API key, Cohere API key, Google API key, even to one, Together API key, and Hugging Face. Now, most of these API keys require paid subscription, and some are free also. But those which are free, they put a lot of limitations. So after maybe doing 10, 12, or 15 programming related tasks, your daily quota of tokens will be over. Okay. Then what is the solution? If you don't want to spend money, but if you have sufficiently powerful hardware, then you can go by this method. This method is, you can use Ollama. Now this Ollama is what? You can use open source large language model, this Ollama, okay? Open source large language model, which are installed on your own PC. But again, there is a condition that you have to have sufficiently powerful hardware. For example, if I open my command prompt and write here Ollama list, and you can see that here Ollama list, I have just typed this much, and I have this much, these many different models installed on my PC. But you can see their size, 39 GB, 79 GB, because I have a PC which is having a RAM of around 24 GB. It has two NVIDIA A1000 Ampere 1000 GPUs. It has hard disk of at least total 10 GB, and that's why I can afford to use my own large language models, and these are all open source. This Llama 3.170 billion is the open source model from Meta, Facebook creators, and then there's Mixtral, Code Llama, Wizard Coder. Then this is exclusively designed for SQL, this is and no SQL, sorry, and this is exclusively designed for SQL. And this Lava can handle even visual inputs, and it is designed for image manipulation. Q1 is also very good model, and so I can use all these by just writing its name. For example, I write here Llama 3.1 colon 7 billion, and I put it the name here. The name here, Olama, I have already selected, so I put that name here, Llama, and thereafter I can just start using my that chat interface. Save changes. Of course, I will have to save changes. That means now I am not using any API key. Now whatever prompts I am giving, they are not traveling across the internet. I can even disconnect my internet. They are going to this large language model which I have installed on my PC only, and I can ask some question. I'm just showing one basic demo. Okay, so ask Jupyter or not. Then I can just say that maybe give example of list comprehension in Python. The spelling of list is wrong, I think. So list comprehension in Python, and I just click this. It is generating response. Now my hardware is powerful, but it is not as powerful as OpenAI. There are billions and billions of dollars of hardware they have. So it takes some time. Not as quick as OpenAI GPT. There are ways to what you can say quantize the model and optimize the model performance so that this response is generated fast. But still, that is okay. Now list comprehension. So everything about list comprehension is explained. Its basic syntax is explained, and one example is also given. Example is squaring a number. Okay, as such we have done that, but let me at least filtering strings. Another example also it is giving. Okay, so Python numbers equals this. I can just copy paste from here. Okay, I think it is yes here. This another example that there are two lists and we are making pairs. So this example of list comprehension I can take. I just place this here in my, sorry, I think I have to copy to the clipboard and paste it here and just write it, and you can see that it even showed that this kind of output you should get, and we are getting that kind of output. Okay, so these are two lists. One, and our list comprehension selects one element from this X and another element from this Y. It makes a tuple of that element for every X and every Y from these two lists. For every X from this list, numbers 1, and for every Y from this list, that is numbers 2. So this is one example. Now throughout this whole process, my internet never comes into picture. So for someone who is doing the practice of data science, this is very important because clients are very sensitive about the privacy of their data. So they will not prefer something where data is traveling on internet. But if you are doing for academic purpose, for example, then at that moment you can change that settings once again. And this time I am using my OpenAI GPT 3.5 Turbo Instruct. I save the changes. That means now I am not using that Llama model, but I am using GPT 3.5 Turbo Instruct. And I come back to my chat interface, and this time I am asking, yeah, from here. Okay, this time I ask the same question as I had asked earlier. Of course, models are different, so they may give different answers. But let me see, same question. Okay, so give example of list comprehension in Python. This time its answer is coming from OpenAI's API, so internet must be on, and therefore it is quite fast also. Now it is giving this kind of answer. Sometimes if API is overloaded, then the answer, yeah, like here for example, is truncated, maybe because of token limit or something. So then you can choose the better model or model with higher limit. You can here use this instead. Say numbers is equal to and squares is equal to, and then use this list comprehension that print squares. So use this list comprehension which is given for the square and check the answer. It has also given the answer. That answer will be 149, 16, 25. That means answer will be the squares of this number. We have already discussed this in earlier lectures. I'm not much going into it, but and you can see that I'm getting this answer. So this Jupyter AI that has changed the game once again in favor of Jupyter. That means now my earlier statement that AI tools are more easy to use with VS Code or PyCharm. will not be applicable, and mostly we will be using Jupyter AI only because it is good for education or teaching purpose. Okay, so this is how I showed you in summary of this lecture is I showed you that you have to go to settings and you have to decide you want to use internet or not. If you have very sensitive data and your client is a little bit too freaky about the privacy issue, then you can use Olama models, provided your hardware is capable enough of installing large language models on it, as I showed here, that large language models are installed on my computer. You don't need all of them. You need maybe one or two depending upon what you are working. Okay, suppose this Llama 3.1 70 billion alone is enough, and Mixtel, which is a mixture of experts type model, that is alone is enough. These two are enough as such. If you need a specific application which requires a highly specific SQL code, use this, or a highly specific no SQL code, then use this, like that. Otherwise, this last two or these two are enough. Okay, so you can use that, and even on laptop people are using it, but you can see the performance in my case was a little bit slower, and in your laptop it will be even slower, but you can use. However, if you want, if you do not mind using internet, then you can use this model. And if you do not mind cost, then I use the GPT 3.5 Turbo Instruct. But if you do not mind the cost of API, then you can use even better and latest model, say for example GPT 4.0 of OpenAI. Okay, API costs will be slightly higher. And this OpenAI's API key is paid. Most of these are paid. For example, this Anthropic API key, that is also paid. I have paid the subscription. That's another matter. If you don't want to pay, then Olama is a good option, provided at least you have reasonably good hardware. Thank you. And from next lecture onwards, now we will finally be able to start our object-oriented programming discussion. I had to show all this because otherwise the patience of some learners start giving away, because they think that in the era of AI coding tools, if this fellow is explaining each and every line of code, then when will we finish everything? So we will slowly transition to AI-based data science workflow. And don't worry, I will make you proficient in both old and new style of coding. Thank you.